everybody. Hopefully this time I'm going to be able to broadcast to you just fine. And today it's the, I think it's the 3rd of June, flaming June. It's absolutely boiling, isn't it? And I thought, I know that people have bought kits, and hopefully you're all sitting there with your Softpot kits, your gravel, your compost, your little plant, and you're going to make a Softpot along with me. Now, last week it was a bit of a wobbler. I brought in lots and lots of vegetables, my sweet peas, all sorts of different things, and it's just too hot to lug all that lot back up here. So I brought in a few things, but I thought I'd show them afterwards, given the time. I don't have as many, so it won't take as long. But as you can see, last week, 2 weeks ago, I was making the claim saying, oh yes, I grow my carrots on the washing line. And I know that that's quite a strong claim. And so anyway, behind me, you can see my carrot, and that's been hanging around on my washing line now for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's doing very well. But I'll go into that a bit later. Let's have a look, see who's here. Oh, hello, Steve. Yes, I am back. Thank you very much indeed, my love. Yes. I don't know whether to wait a little while or just to crack on with it. I mean, for those people who might have just happened to tune in and you've got no idea what a Softpot is, well, a Softpot is a handmade fabric plant pot, and it's suitable for any type of plant, indoors or out. You can get really small ones, you can get really big ones, you can have them suitable for trees. Generally, there's no real limit to the size, but having said that, I limit myself to what I can pick up, because my garden moves. I have a Softpot garden that goes on tour every year. And, you know, for all those people, how many times have people out there done loads and loads of work on their garden, and then for whatever reason they've had to move, and you had to leave all your plants behind? Ha! Well, I can show you a way of growing all your plants, all your vegetables, on your washing line if necessary, up the wall if necessary, and the wonderful thing is they look really, really pretty. Practically, they're much better for the plant, and when you move, you can just take your plant, you can take your whole garden with you, and wherever you go, it's beautiful. Yes, one day I should put some pictures up of the touring garden, and you'll be amazed, you'll be amazed. Actually, I'm going to be at, oh hi Nasha, hello, bing bang wallop. Oh, thank you for joining me, Nasha. Ho. Yes, actually, what was I saying? Oh yes, I know. In July, if you're going to the Great Yorkshire Show, come and visit me. The Softpot Garden is going to be there. It's going to be outside the Women's Institute Pavilion. And it's quite a big display. It's got my trees, it's got my sweet peas, it's got all sorts of different things. A Softpot well. It's just got all sorts of interesting things. I mean, the Softpot Garden is a garden like no other. You have a garden that you couldn't achieve if you had your plants in plastic or terracotta pots. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's just a new style of container gardening, and it's a new form of garden. And it also happens to be a new garden craft, and it is just so much fun. Now, I don't know how many people are joining me today, but I'm going to make a Softpot, and I do know that there are going to be people there who will probably watch the replay and work along with me. I'm never quite sure how long to wait for these sort of things. Probably be useful to have some music, you know. Oh, I try with a little help from my friends. So, by the way, for those who don't know, you know, I made this last week when everything went AWOL. Softpots aren't just pretty faces, you know. they're actually much better for the plants. Because of the way that they're built, soft pots with the plant roots grow normally. You don't get root spiralling. I mean, you get root spiralling in plastic plant pots, terracotta plant pots, but you don't get root spiralling with a soft pot. What happens is that eventually the roots will come through, and if you don't want it to get any bigger, you just take your hand and rub the roots off. And plants are not stupid. They go, oh, okay, and they stay in their pot. And it's a great way to bonsai things. Bonsai is a whole other thing, but I just want to mention that. I mean, the scope of soft pots is just enormous, and really the only limit's your imagination. But they're much, much better for plants. And in conditions like today, where it's just roasting, I mean, I know that if you went into B&Q, anywhere like that, you can smell the plant roots boiling inside that oven that they're living in, because plastic and terracotta pots heat up, and they just cook the roots, and you can smell it. It's just, oh, it's torture really. But I know different. Soft pots, they don't heat up in the sun the same way regular plant pots do. They, because of all the decoration, they have thermal protection, and I mean, you know how builders wear tights in winter. It's like one of the worst kept secrets I know, but they do. And just like that for plants, soft pots are thermally protected, and the roots are safe all the way through the winter. They're protected from the cold, and in conditions like this, they don't heat up the same way. They're much, much better for plants. So anyway, what are soft pots, and what are soft pots made from? Right, da 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 da. I sort of gave a good hint, didn't I, when I was talking about the builders. Right, da 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 da. I have got a leg of stocking. Now, if you use heavy duty stockings, it's not so good, because if you want a really, really, really pretty soft pot, if you want a really, really soft, pretty soft pot, you need the sheerest, shiniest, glossiest stockings you can get your hands on, 10 denier or less. Don't ask your friends for their stockings or tights. They'll give you really heavy duty things that you can't use. Ask them for stockings. I'm all for encouraging for recycling. If you ask your friends for stockings, then you'll get sheer. You should get sheer shiny. Yeah. Good tip, that. Otherwise you get deluged with all of these. Oh, I made that mistake once in York. Can you imagine that? I was knee deep in people's old tights. I couldn't use it at all. Right, here we are, stocking. Here's the magic ring. This is a soft pot ring. What I'm going to do is just drop the stocking through the ring, and I'm just going to put the edge of the stocking over there. See? And what it is, I use this ring again and again just to hold the stocking leg open while I'm shoveling things into it. Da, 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 da. Right, if you're just making a regular soft pot, always put in some gravel or grit. It can be grit from your outside. Give it a good wash. Make sure there's no slugs or sand on it. You know, you can get slug eggs in grit. So just give it a quick rinse. And then all you need is a handful, just to give your soft pot some gravitas. And it's nice because when you get to the bounce, you've got a bit of weight and it feels lovely. Feels lovely. In fact, I'm going to put a bit more in. Right, now, I've got a little plant here, Diacia, and it's pretty, 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 and it's got pinks and it's pinky, yeah. So we're going to go for it. Here, in this little bucket, I have 3 of these scoops of compost, and it's just any compost that's right for the plant. And what have I got? Where is it? Da, 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 da. I had a big bag of Softpot gold somewhere. Hang on a minute. That'll do. here we have Softpot Gold. And Softpot Gold is the secret of making a softpot. You can't make a softpot sculpture, anything, without this. It's just magic. It's a natural mineral, comes from volcanoes, and they blow it up like popcorn. And it's beautiful inside a softpot and very, very practical. Because what it does is it, can I show you? Can you see? It looks like gold nuggets. But inside a softpot, what it does, it behaves a bit like porridge. It absorbs water and nutrients and releases it slowly. And that's why softpots are so well behaved when you water them. They're not drippy or soggy. And it, most importantly, it prevents the compaction. Compaction, if you can't just put compost in a leg of type and think it's going to work, because it won't. What happens is that the nature of a good leg of stocking is to compact, constrict, and eventually, if you just put compost in, very, very quickly in fact, it finishes up being just a hard rock and you can't get water in or out and the whole thing just does not work. This is the magic ingredient. And it's funny, you know, I mean, a bit like people really, softpots. When it's, as long as they're made right on the inside, how they choose to dress themselves is another thing entirely. And how you choose to dress your softpot is entirely up to you, given a few caveats. But it must be made right on the inside first. And what I've got here is standard mix for a standard pot is 3 scoops of compost to 1 of Softpot Gold. And just going to pop that in there. And actually I might just get a little bit more because it's a bit on the short side. Excuse me when I come back. And also you can adjust it. Oh, what's this? Oh yes, I've just been reminded. I don't think there's anybody here, but if there is still somebody here with me, would you please like and share this video just to get it out there, please? Yeah, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Softpots, and very soon I'm going to be doing online courses and basic and advanced. And if you want at that point, if you do the basic and advanced, you become a registered softpot maker and take softpots out into your world. I encourage people to do that. And where was I? Ah, yes. With the Softpot Gold, I'm mixing it up right now. Now, if it's really, really hot, as it is at the moment, I would be inclined, if I think it's going to be a really hot summer, I would add more Softpot Gold. If I've got like a little rock plant or a cacti, something like that, I'd put less Softpot Gold in, but I would put in grit or gravel to stop that compaction, because you must put something in. And don't ask me about that perlite stuff, it's just disgusting. You know those little white styrofoam balls? Don't bother with it. It doesn't look right inside the pot, it doesn't behave properly. 3 weeks after water, you know, if you keep watering it, you've got the aftermath of a football match on the top of your pot, and that compaction's happening underneath. So don't. You can get Softpot Gold. I know a £10 bag will do 15 soft pots, and that's, you know, I think it's £10 including postage and packaging. So I mean, you're well in. Just go to my website, go to the shop, and you can get all sorts of nice things there. And if nothing else, get the Softpot Gold. Right, here I am. I've got this. I've got my mix. Now, one of the interesting things is, to make life easy for you, is when you're filling this, don't do that, because you'll fight. It'll just fight with you. If you hang it over the top of your compost mix, and then just gently, just tip it in, and let it dangle, so gravity's doing the work. There we go. And then we're doing the bounce. Now the bounce, Ho! What it is it's all dropping down to the bottom in a nice loose pile, which is exactly what I want. Oh, when it hits the floor and it's all down at the bottom, it is just the most beautiful feeling. And children love this, absolutely love making soft pots. I encourage people to take it to schools, nursing homes. Now, see how beautiful that is. Can you see? And there's your soft pot gold. And even a naked soft pot is a thing of great beauty. Don't forget that. Because they grow their own moss, their own patina when they're outside, and they look like stone. They're just beautiful. And here I am, what am I doing here? I'm doing the donut. Right, I'm going around and I'm squishing any lumps. It feels lovely, you know. It's very therapeutic making a soft pot. It really is. Every stage of it is beautiful. And what I've done there is I've gone round and I've squished any lumps. Now, if I found any lumps that weren't squishable, I would put my hand in, yank them out and get them out. But this is quite a well-behaved compost, because lumps do affect your drainage. So it's well worth doing the squish and squishing. Right, here we are. Da 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 da. Don't need the ring anymore. Now, this plant is quite a wide pot. The base of the pot always dictates how big your soft pot's going to be. And you know, it's actually very hard to make a soft pot without basing it around a plant. Even if you put 3 or 4 or 5 plants in later, you've got to start with one. You actually build your soft pot around the plant. And there's been some really interesting research, you know, about plants. I mean, I've known it for a long time. Of course they're sentient. Of course they can see and hear. And they communicate. And just because they haven't got a brain where, you know, you can sort of pick it up and dissect it, every part of them has photoreceptors in their cells. They know what's going on. We don't give them enough credit. And this is kindness to plants. They're just, these are so lucky. By the way, every time I do this, I always sort of take it right down to the bottom. But I want to make a bigger pot here. So what I'm going to do is a simple trick is to start higher up. Just get it down. I mean, ideally what you do is actually tie the foot before you do this, but I thought I'd show you this way. But yeah, you just get rid of the foot, and of course that bit's wider. So there we go, I'm just going to make a knot there, and I've chopped off basically the foot part. Let's have a look now. Yes, that wants to go wider, that's good, that's good. Taking it down, giving it a stretch, because the stockings have memory too, and you're just preparing it for what you're going to what you expect from them. So right, here we go. Going to take this little plant, going to take it out of its pot. I think it will come happily. Come to me, close your eyes, come to me, just relax, take your time, and you know it will be fine. Right, here we go, got my plant. This is always the most difficult part, actually, is getting your plant into the stocking in the first place. Now, after a while, you get really, really good at this, but it does take a bit of practice, and if you've got children, just hold the leg of the stocking open for them so they can drop it in. But you get good at it, What you do is you stretch that neck, however you can do it. I always tend to put my 3 fingers in there and just drop it in, right onto the top of the pot. There we go, and right up over its head. And at this point, this is where I always tend to think of them, it's a bit like children. You pop them into bed. Now all you need to do is bring up the blankets and tuck them in. So I've got my thumb, I'm going to put it on its shoulder as a marker, and then I'm just going to lift up, gently lift up the compost from the bottom up to the top and just tuck it in. And as I said, this is a much kinder bed for a living plant. It just feels kinder already. And it's strange, you know, because you can't have a relationship. It's hard to have a relationship with a plant when it's in a plastic or terracotta pot. But when it's in a soft pot, it's got a firm body, and you've made it, and it's beautiful, and you love it. You'll see. I'm going to, now can you see I've got, there it is, inside the pot, and it's nicely tucked up. Now, when it comes to the Saturday Softpot Club, I sort of have to limit myself in that I only show things I can do with the simple Softpot. And the simple Softpot is not a reusable pot, but it has the advantage of being the simplest one you can do, and also it's spill proof. And if you move a lot, if you hello Nigel Snell, hello. I saw some great pictures of you at that festival online. Yeah, good ones. Here we go. Got myself a slice of stocking from the top. Cut it again. Got a stretch a bit of string. Going to tie it round. And when it gets to the point where I think, oh, that's a bit tight, but I can still get my finger in. See? That's where you tie the knot. And this, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, the simple soft pot, it's non-spill. So if you move a lot, if you live in a house with cats, dogs, things that get knocked over all the time, this is the soft pot that you would want to build. You could play ball with this by the time you're finished, and it won't spill. Right. Here we go. Moving on to decorating. When it comes to decorating, the world is your oyster. But there are certain things that you need to bear in mind when you're decorating. When it comes to decorating, you want to avoid, it might come as a surprise, but you need to avoid natural materials. Cotton, linen, felt, silk, sacking, it all rots when it's between the layers and it goes slimy, and you just don't want to do it. Don't. Synthetic materials are the best. Having said that, there are certain exceptions. I'll talk about that a bit later. But colour grass is one of them. But as a pretty much hard and fast rule, just go for synthetics, and then the world is your oyster. Soft pots wear jewellery with aplomb. Feathers, beads, shells, sweet wrappers, milk bottle tops. It goes on and on and on. And once you've made 4 or 5 soft pots, you get what I call soft pot eyes. And everything you look at, it's like a whole new world. Everything you look at, you think, oh, could I put that in a soft pot? Could I put a soft pot into it? Because of course, they're soft and they're mouldable and sculptable. So you can put them into things as well. And you can make really long ones, and you can say, oh, could I wrap a soft pot around it? Because you can wrap soft pots around trees and branches, and there's all sorts of interesting uses for them. So anyway, yeah, let's get on. Right. When it comes to decorating, I always recommend that you start with a petticoat, because what you're going to do is you're going to build a beautiful ball gown. And you can't have a beautiful ball gown if you haven't got a petticoat underneath, because that makes everything hang beautifully. And it also gives you your base colour. You can make a soft pot, to match anybody's decor, indoors or out, anybody's favourite colour, somebody's eye colour. The wonderful thing about soft pots is they're great gifts to give, and you can make them so personal. Anyway, here we go. Behind me here I have a whole wall of organzas. And I really like organza. It's not expensive and it's got lovely sheen to it and it comes in lovely colours. So anyway, what colour, oh dear, what colour was this? Pinks. Let's go for pink then. Have a little bit of pink. I'm just going to take a bit of my backdrop. And I've got the slice of material there. I'm going to rip it down, halfway down, going to wrap it round, da 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 da. And then I'm going to use that tie that I made just to pop it round and hold that material. And anything that's sort of hanging along down below the bottom, I just take off. And all these bits are really good, by the way. You need to hang on to them because you can use all these different bits to add to other bits that you've got. Blah blah blah. Talking about the bits, there's some interesting. I found this the other day. I think it was like a poncho type thing. These sort of materials, these sort of textures are fantastic. Now, in theory, there are 3 layers. Actually, 4. If you count the outside, there are 4 layers to a soft pot that you can build on. I'm just going to pop that round there, and this is the first layer. And I'm just going to hook it under. It doesn't have to be neat, just bits of it, doesn't matter. I mean, soft pots are totally random. And then, what else was I saying? Other bits. On this level too, you can just put bits of material. There we are, a few more bits. Add into that. There we are. And on this level sometimes I write messages, and it's a lovely thing to do. You all get together, somebody's birthday, and you can write on bits of strips of material your messages and just hook them through. And they might not see them for like sometimes even years and years. But eventually, as everything changes and evolves, all of that, everything you've got under here, will come through. So right, colour grass. Da da da. Well, it's got to be pink, isn't it? I've got a bit of. You can't go wrong, you know, if you reflect the colours that are in the plant. It's a bit like wearing, if you've got blue eyes and you wear a blue jumper, it just enhances it, doesn't it? And it's just the same with plants. If you reflect their colour, you won't go wrong. And the plant at the end goes, hello, look at me, I'm beautiful. And it is. I mean, soft pots enhance individual plants, groups of plants. It just makes them all sing and dance. And they're not just pretty faces. See that? Fluffing it up, light as a cloud. And then I'm just going to blag it around the side there. And that's the basis of my ball gown. Basically what you're trying to do is make it as pretty as possible. And eventually, when it looks like it's a fairy going to the ball, that's when it's ready. Now, this is the second layer here. And sometimes what I do is I can, actually let me put a little bit of green or something else in. Just going to fluff it up. There we are. There's a little bit of extra dimension there. When you're putting your materials on, especially the colour grass, try and keep it close at the neck, because otherwise you can finish up with everything dropping down and you can spend 10 minutes trying to shove it all back into the right position. So things like this is the second layer. I'm just going to pop in between the colour grass. And they can just be bits of things. There we are. And when it comes to woolly things, I go for textures. But when I say woolly things, they need to be acrylic wools ideally. Sometimes you can't always tell, and you know, after 3 months of it being outside, if it's real wool, it might have gone a bit mouldy looking. I quite like it. But soft pots are washable. If you don't like what you see, just take a damp cloth and wipe it off. And actually, sometimes it's worth... Oh, look at this. Find a bit of this, let's have a little bit of that. Oh, yes. What a jolly thing. You'd be amazed what works. I mean, in nature, you know, all colours work together. And somehow, in soft pots, I've learnt not to judge, because you'd be amazed. You think, what? And then it turns into something really, really beautiful. So yeah, I withhold judgment these days, because there's always room to be incredibly well surprised. Oh, now I've got a bit of this. Let's really put, yeah, maybe just a bit of that, because it's got a bit of raspberry in it, I think, in that flower. Oh, oh, oh. When you see glittery things at Christmas, get them. It disappears, and then after that, you have to wait for another year. Halloween's good too. Oh, Halloween's excellent. Right, oh, one of the other things I've got. Da 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 da. It's actually a fright wig. But they come in other colours, lots of colours, and they're fantastic in a soft pot. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Can't go wrong. They hold their colour well, and they're just exciting. I think they're exciting. And then sequins. Always time for sequins. Let's have a look. I have lots and lots of colours of sequins. And I think because this is a sort of pinky job, I think we better put some pinky sequins in. And as I always say, when in doubt, sequin it out. Shiny, shiny, shiny goes down really, really well. Having said that, actually, I'll just show you this. Soft pots aren't always bright, shiny, you know, looking like Christmas trees. Soft pots can be like this. This is a favourite of mine. This has got to be 15, 16 years old. And sometimes, you know, they just want to be quiet, especially trees. Trees love moss pots. The moss protects them from the heat, protects them from the cold, and they just, don't know, they're just beautiful. Can you see? There's an egg in there as well that the tree seems to be guarding. Anyway, that was slight digression. Right. Here we are, the grand denouement. Do you think that this looks like a fairy ready to go to the ball? I say yes. Right, here we go. Gonna get my fingers in, gonna pull it up slightly. Gonna take it down. I've got a diamond shape with my fingers. Thumbs at the back, put my thumbs on the back, and those two. Grab, 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 down, take it round. Pick it up underneath, grab that area there, don't let go. You want to keep that area clear. With your other hand, take that stocking and bring it down over your arm, pulling gently but firmly. And you'll see that that neckline is opening, and I can control, by pulling, I can control the aperture on that neckline. Now this is a simple soft pot. I don't want it to get too wide because I want to play ball with it. So what I'm going to do is, with my other hand, I'm going to shove all this back up, anything that's below the level of the pot. And this is where soft pots can change radically. There's no point being myopic with the soft pot, you know. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling this down, pushing it up, trying to keep that area clear. There we are. Yeah, I like that. Now, when you have a look at that, now, you can only do this with small pots, but it's better. It is worth doing it. It's called the twizzle. And what I'm going to do is, over quickly, I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to get it close to its bum. Don't start high up. It needs to be over quickly, this bit. And then I'm just going to twizzle it. Pew! Watch its head. Children tend to finish up knocking their head off the plant because you do it near a table. I've tied it, I've spun it, and at that point, what that does, it introduces more tension into the soft pot, into the stocking, and it makes it as sheer as it's possible for it to be. And can you see, all those colours have really jumped out now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply tie a simple knot on its base, as close to its bum as I can get. La la la. Cut the umbilical cord, and my soft pot is born. How I shape it from this point on is entirely up to me. I can put my 2 fingers and I can roll it so it's nice and fat and flat, and I can tease it out at the bottom. I can squish it up and make it into a very, very pretty little amphora shape. Ooh, I like that. I think it likes that too. Yeah, I think that's it. It's always a collusion, you know, between you and the plant. You have to work together. You both have to like it. Now, if we're going to water this, if it's the first time, I'd plunge it in a pot, completely over its neck, take it out, leave it to drain, and thereafter that charges the Softpot Gold inside, and it's a good thing to do once every 2 weeks, just to charge it up, or maybe even once a month. But just to generally water your soft pot, all you do, stick it in a bowl, pop it in a bowl, can't find my water, gone, leave it 10 minutes, and you'll find that when it's you come back, it's just sucked up all the water, just like a sponge. And when you pick it up, it's not drippy or soggy. If there's still loads of water in there and you haven't got time for it to wait, just pick it up, squish it underneath, and that'll take out the excess, and then just leave it on a little drainer, just to drain for 10 minutes, and it'll be fine. When you pick it up, you'll be able to tell. Soft pots, you can't tell at the side if they need watering. What you can do, though, is when you pick them up, you know the wet weight and the dry weight. They're like friends. After a while, you just get to know the dry weight and the wet weight of a soft pot. And also, when you put your hand underneath, you can feel the dampness. But yes, there we go. I'm just going to pop... I haven't got any water here, so I'm just going to pop that on. So yes, there we are. One happy little soft pot. I do try to encourage people to go for a symmetrical. Try and get it as symmetrical as possible, because people like symmetry. I like symmetry too. And sometimes soft pots can be a little bit lopsided one way or another. So yeah, I mean, they reflect so much about, about the maker in a soft pot. I mean, soft pots are incredibly therapeutic. And I encourage schools, nursing homes, as I said, to take them in and make them. Because in schools, it's often the first time that children ever really make a connection with the plant and with the world of nature. And when they've made their soft pot, they just love it. And they want to know how to look after it. And it can be the beginning of a lifelong love of the plant world. And as I said, in nursing homes, people already know about plants, people already love plants, and if there was any sort of gardener, then they will love soft pots in a nursing home. I've seen it reconnect people. People I thought were never going to come back, but they made a soft pot. They made one, they made two, and at the end I took a photograph of them, and they were there, back again, and thrilled to bits with their plant. So yes, please contact me if this sort of thing is any of interest to you. Yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough. So, I think that's it for my little soft pot here. I thought maybe I'd just whiz through some of the things that I showed you last week, and the whole thing went sort of totally AWOL. Let me just pop this there. Oh, that, you see, that's wearing a little bracelet from Henshaw's. There you are, that's a good example of soft pots wearing jewellery. Now, what have I got? Let me see if I can pop this, know where to pop these things. Now, last week, the other week I said, oh yes, I grow my carrots on the washing line. Well, this here is my carrot, and it's a soft pot carrot, but inside, can you see, those are real carrots that are growing. And this carrot will just hang on my washing line and swing around with my washing, because I like to put my washing out on nice days. And then it'll come on tour with me, and it'll do about 600-700 miles, and the carrot will just keep on growing. And there's no reason why you couldn't have a 6-foot carrot if you wanted to. But I just thought, saying that I grow my carrots on washing lines is quite a large claim, isn't it? So I thought I'd better bring it in to show you. Last week I also showed you my celery that I was growing on my washing line, but I forgot to bring that in. Where can I hang this? Oh, I know, I'll hang it there for the moment. There. And then, what else did I bring in? This is my tomato. Da 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 da. And that will probably go into, a bigger pot. I'll make 2 more, and then it'll look like a bunch of tomatoes. Because you see, the thing is that you only ever see me do these really tiny things, and soft pots really do perform. Here we are, let me show you my peas. There we go. Now, these are just in basic pots at the moment. I tend to wait until I know that they're doing well, and then I'll dress them up and take them to the show. And can you see? There we are. I have some very interesting devices to keep the slugs off, by the way. It only really works with soft pots. But, oh, and this one. Just want to show you that these, they can be so much more than just these tiny little things that I've been showing you. And you can do it too. Come on my course, sign up. Let me know if you'd like to come on my course. And the course goes through everything. There's basic soft pots, advanced soft pots. And then if you want to take it further, then you can apply to become a registered soft pot maker. And then it's your own little business, and you take it off in whichever world that you want to take soft pots into, with our help and blessing. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what is possible. It's soft pots are a wonderful world, and if you're coming to the Yorkshire show, come and see me. I mean, this is a soft pot hanger, and you see, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's not finished yet, but I'm just waiting to see it grow in, and then I'll finish it off. And this little girl here, This is beautiful. She's sporting a moss and fabric dress, and she's just lovely, and she's about to start going up. So I have different ways of dealing with tall plants. I brought all that in last week, and maybe I'll do it again, you know, another week or something, bring some more stuff back. But there's that. And then, what else have I thought I'd bring this back in because I brought it in a long time ago, and I said, you know, it's called Diaspora, and it is one of my favourite plants. It's evergreen, and look at how beautiful that is. And you see the pot? That's a lovely pot, and that's a beautiful plant. And I think it was just about to come into flower last time. Oh, hello, Kath. Oh, good. I am glad. Thank you. Oh, hello, Ofra. Oh, thank you. Are you watching this in Israel? Shalom. Softpots in Israel. Beautiful, beautiful. So yes, I just thought I'd bring these in to show you, you know, and again, you know, I just thought, you know, and then they can be quiet, as I said. Trees generally, trees like to be quiet. They don't want to go out dressed up. You know, they'd rather have quieter colours, darker colours, and the tree itself shines then. So, here we are. I think we're close to the end of another Saturday Softpot Club. Please share this video with your friends. There's kits. I do kits, you know, and the kits are really good. Here we are. What's this? You keep forgetting to promote these sort of things. Here we are. That's the kit, and in there there's 12 big balls of different coloured colour glass. There's a big bag of Softpot Gold, which will do easy peasy. I mean, these are quite big. I mean, I call them medium-sized pots. But if you make smaller ones, you can do 20 out of this lot. Easy. And it's got the ring, it's got the hoop, it's got all the right sort of materials, it's got the glittery bits, it's got the petticoat. Everything you need. And these are the instructions, full colour instructions to make a simple soft pot. And all of this, and it takes a bit of putting together, made in England, made here. This is £20 including postage and packaging, which makes it really easy for you. It's on a special, and go for it. And then join me next week on the Saturday Softpot Club, and you make a soft pot along with me. That would be just so lovely. And I'm really glad. Thank you for tuning in with me. Now, I should ask, does anybody have any questions? What do you use for the big pots? Ooh. Well, that would be telling. Those sort of secrets I tend to hold on until people come on the course. All will be revealed on the course. The course deals with small, medium, large soft pots, extra large soft pots, hangers, window boxes, weird things, shields, gloms, all of those sort of things, all the different styles. So yes. What's that? That's great. I mean, that didn't really answer your question. That just told you I couldn't answer it. I'm sorry, Kath. But I do encourage everyone to sign up. If you go to softpots.com, that's my website. The kits are on my Facebook shop, I think, and also on my softpots.com website. There's a little shop there. And I'm going to be doing these online courses so that you don't have to come to Henshaws. I'm moving to Henshaws, by the way. The Softpot Garden's going there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 10 denier. The thing is you need 10 denier if you want pretty. I'll tell you that much. You know me, I'm so simple. Nothing complicated. What is the best thickness? Oh, hello, Lisa. Oh, what is the best thickness of stocking? If you want to make really, really pretty soft pots, shiny, then you need 10 denier or less. Even 15 denier is almost too strong. I sell, oh well actually I don't know whether I do sell. The best place I go to Primark. If I have to buy new, I go to Primark. It's the best quality, best everything. And hey, they're a British company. I can tell you that, that's supposed to be a secret too, but hey. I'm never very good at keeping secrets. Oh gosh, Anne Worthington. Hello. Ah, hello, thank you for joining me. Kath, fabulous as well. Oh, I'm really pleased. Thank you. I mean, it's almost at the end of it. But I thought, I don't know if anyone's got any more questions. Trouble reading. Oh, hello, Anne. Thank you. Gosh, it's a beastly hot day today. I have to admit, it's flaming June. It really is. Right. Yes. So, I would say, join me next week in the next Saturday Softpot Club. Please do. And hopefully I'll have something, well I will, I'll have something interesting to show you. And I'll make another Softpot, different style. And you can join along with me or just watch. And I look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now. Love to all, everywhere in the world. Thank you.